Hi, friends. Welcome to Kind of Funny Games Daily for Thursday, August 16th, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Jared Petty, alongside America's favorite pop princess.
Oh, what?
Chastity Vicencio. Indeed.
Hello, everybody.
I've seen the album cover.
Yeah, but more importantly, check out this Taco Bell hoodie. I'm not sponsored by Taco Bell. I'm just really into this hoodie. And also, I had put on my Twitter the day before. It's like, what should I wear on Kind of Funny Games Daily? And this one by 46%. So thank you. You've voted for the Taco Bell hoodie. I'm very comfortable, though I'm a little bit warm. And Andrea had warned me about that. So I am also wearing the second place winner, the cute new dress underneath this.
Underneath that. So when you get hot, eventually is the Taco Bell hoodie like when you're sufficiently sweaty?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
it's also to note, this was the limited edition Taco Bell hoodie from the Demolition Man pop-up at Comic-Con, which was amazing.
Oh, wow.
Incredible.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Did you sing along? Did they have jingles to sing?
It's like you can't see it, but check it out.
Look at that. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's kind of spectacular. Demolition Man, 3 seashells, modern day classic.
I apologize to people listening to this because this is not very
you know what?
great
This
for
is
an audio experience.
spectacularly interesting. Welcome
Just
back.
Imagine.
I don't believe you're not sponsored by Taco Bell now. I think this is you trying to leverage DiGiorno out.
I'm trying really hard. I want to eat tacos.
Taco Bell sponsorship.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a friend of the show out there that works for Taco Bell marketing, so you better watch out.
Oh,
yeah,
hello.
indeed. But this is Kind of Funny Games Daily each and every weekday. We tell you all the news about the games that you love. You can join us on YouTube. You can join us on Twitch. Or if you want to tell us how we're wrong, you've got kindoffunny.com/you're wrong. And if you're watching live in real time, you can pop in there and tell us all the things we screwed up during this very episode.
Yes, please correct me.
Correct us in all ways. Let those be factual corrections. Housekeeping. Fan mail this month is an autographed photo of Nick Scarpino.
It's a great photo, by the way.
I haven't seen this photo.
Who took that? Who took that photo?
Who took the photo, Cool Greg?
Nice.
Kevin took the photo.
Good job, Kevin.
The champ, Nick Scarpino. So if you're getting fan mail this month, that's one of the Patreon tiers. Mm-hmm. Yep, Patreon. That's one of the ways that we keep working here, and we always love to mention it. Patreon.com/kindoffunny, Patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Also, Kind of Funny's Extra Life for Kids t-shirt contest is back. Submit your designs to kindoffunny.com/EL contest. That's EL contest. No dash, that's Extra Life Contest, EL Contest. kindoffunny.com/EL Contest by August 31st. Voting begins in September. The winning design will be printed as the official 2018 Kind of Funny Extra Life community shirt. That's awesome.
That is very awesome.
That makes me extremely happy to hear. Extra Life already coming up here again.
Yeah, Extra Life is great. It's what I look forward to every year. We do it big at GameSpot, and I'm looking forward to doing another 24-hour, 48 hours we do, but I tend to do it for about maybe 12.
You do about 12?
I do about 12.
Do those shifts. You gotta keep that weakness going on there.
Okay, but it's great. For a great cause. Do it for the kids. Love it.
This episode brought to you by Brooklinen and Stamps.com. But I'll tell you more about that later. But first, it's time for what is, and forever will be, the Roper Report. Time for some news. 9 items on the Roper Report today.
A baker's dozen.
Holy crap. Slow news day? I think not.
No, we got 9.
All right, so step to it, folks. We're going to move through these. First off, easily the most important gaming news of the day for friends of the show.
I'm very excited about this.
This from Twitter. Barret Courtney is a full-time IGN employee as of today.
Yay, Barret!
That's right. From Barrett's Twitter, after almost 2 years of freelancing and contracting in IGN, today is my first day as a full-time employee. Thank you so much for being there with me every step of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that it would be good for all the best friends to hop out there and find Barret Courtney's Twitter account and give him a extra special best friends welcome to IGN full time. So
yes.
if you're out there right now, just tweet at Barret and let him know the best friends love him and we're happy for him.
Show him some love. He's great.
Yeah,
I'm really happy for him.
He's kind of one of the members of like the Kind of Funny expanded universe.
Yes.
The Kind of Funny cinematic universe. Yeah, KFEU, exactly. Someday, I swear I'm going to name my company Podcast Cinematic Universe, but that's another case. All right, Chastity, why don't you read the second one here?
Alrighty, I will. So Sony's PSVR has sold over 3 million units worldwide. Very exciting. This is from Wesley LeBlanc over on Twinfinite.
Big Twinfinite!
Yes. So PlayStation has announced that over 3 million PlayStation virtual reality headsets have been sold around the world. Early this morning on Twitter, the PlayStation PlayStation Europe Twitter account took to the internet to announce the news with a quick thank you. The tweet also included a picture of the PSVR headset being gawked at by those cute little robots from the Sony first-party game Astrobot. That's cute. While the tweet doesn't necessarily confirm that PSVR has sold 3 million units to customers, it's fair to assume that what the tweet is detailing, if that wasn't the case, the tweet likely would have read shipped instead of sold.
Yeah, so a little question about the clarity of exactly what sold means here. Did all of those end up in the hands of customers, or how many of them went to suppliers, etc.? 3 million.
That's a lot. That's a whole lot of headsets.
Did you think there were that many PSVRs out there?
Yeah, I assumed so.
Did you?
Yeah, but I didn't think that many would sell. I'm very impressed, and that's great. But it's my least favorite. I'm sorry.
Least favorite.
Yeah, my least favorite VR headset.
Expound.
I get very motion sick, and the PSVR, there are more games where I feel a lot more motion sickness than I do when I'm playing with the Oculus or with the Vive. And yeah, it's like, especially, it was Resident Evil 7. Mm-hmm. Whew. That was tough. Just moving around just made me super nauseous. I couldn't play for more than 10 minutes.
And you've encountered that across games on the platform?
Yeah, here and there, but not as much as that game, to be honest. But it's still a fun experience.
No, what I like about the PSVR is that it of the three, it's the one that aimed for affordability. And
exactly.
While it's still a very expensive premium item, it's far less expensive than the other two, particularly when these were all emerging technologies.
It's the most accessible, and yeah, it's the most affordable, and it makes sense because you already have a PS4, so why not if you wanted to try VR? So it's but like if you're very sensitive to being motion sick like I am, it's not the greatest.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that Game Boy of VR, the one that really does break through the price barrier completely. And I think that's where Sony's aiming. I think that's what they're trying to develop. But, one of the reasons the Game Boy worked, we've talked, there's been a lot written about this in the past. And yes, it had incredible battery life. And yes, it was literally, you could run over it with a tank and it wouldn't break. And
that's what I like in any type of peripheral.
Exactly. You want it to be super, super tough. And it came with a great packing game and Tetris. But it was also $90 at launch. Oof. And people forget that it was cheap. Like anybody could buy one relative. And that was incredible. And I think that's where what Sony has striven for in the PSVR, along with a lot of support. So good job there. Next item on the Roper Report here, number 3, Diablo 3 Eternal Collection confirmed for Switch. This from GameSpot.
Good old GameSpot. That's where I'm from. I forgot to say that at the beginning. Hello, GameSpot. I just kept talking about Taco Bell.
You were just all about that Taco Bell, not about what do you do at GameSpot?
Hey, I am the lead on video for the entertainment part of GameSpot called GameSpot Universe. So youtube.com/GameSpot Universe. Plug.
You heard it here first, friends. Chastity Vicencio leaving GameSpot for Taco Bell influencer status.
That is not true.
That is confirmed. That's news. Okay, well, congratulations on your exciting Taco Bell journey, Chastity.
Thank you.
Blizzard has officially confirmed that Diablo 3 is coming to Nintendo Switch, titled Diablo 3 Eternal Collection. It'll feature the original game alongside the Reaper of Souls expansion, Adventure Mode, fully unlocked from the outset, Challenge Risk, Kanai's Cube, and the Crusader class. Additionally, it'll have the Rise of the Necromancer Pack, that's hard to say, which primarily consists of the Necromancer class. The game does not have a specific release date, but Blizzard said it's tentatively aiming for fall 2018 with an MSRP of $60 in the US. The Switch version of Diablo 3 is being developed in-house and utilizes the work done for the well-received PS4 and Xbox One ports of the games. Senior producer Pete Stillwell described the portability that Nintendo Switch offers as a new evolution of the Diablo 3 experience. Skipping down a bit, by utilizing the Switch's online service, save files will be automatically uploaded to the cloud, allowing for progress to be backed up and also transferred onto other devices. Quote, Switch automatically uploads save files. The only thing that won't upload is leaderboards, but anything else such as achievements or progress that's made through the campaign will be uploaded, explained associate producer Matt Cedarquist. Another cool feature is the ability to play offline but still have progress count, and you can load your profiles back and forth, so if you're on a buddy Switch, you can load your file and get the character you want in the game too, added Stillwell. When the console version of Diablo 3 launched, Blizzard implemented a feature that let players transfer characters from PS3 and Xbox 360 to PS4 and Xbox One, respectively. However, this functionality is not going to be available on the Switch version. Partially, I'm guessing, because there was no super hot Wii U Diablo 3 port. Cross-platform play will not be supported. Online multiplayer in the Nintendo Switch version will be up and running when the game comes out, and like uploading saves to the cloud, it'll use Nintendo Switch's paid online service. In terms of performance, Diablo 3 on Switch will run at 60 FPS across the board in handheld mode. The game is displayed in 720p and it flips to 960p when docked. Diablo 3 Eternal Collection accounts from various controller configurations available to Switch owners, supporting everything but touch. We support everything except for touch at this point, he added. We did some... Oh, pardon me, I'm reading another part of the article. Forget that. The Switch version also comes with some exclusive goodies for Nintendo fans, including the ability to use the transmogrification feature to turn into the Legend of Zelda villain Ganondorf. You can read... There we go. So,
nice.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That was a mouthful there. Sorry about the bit of a flub.
No, you're fine.
There on the read-through. But that's a tremendous amount of information about an exciting game. Chastity, what do you think?
Yeah. I want everything on the Switch.
Okay.
I really do. But I think that the price point is a little steep here.
Oh.
Because this game's been around for a long time. This is an old game. Let's just be honest. $60 again? Like, how many times do I have to buy this game for $60? And I think a lot of people on Twitter have been responding the same way. They're like, I would get this for a price drop. So, like, maybe. It's like, that sounds great, but maybe at $40. Like,
see, I disagree.
Yeah, interesting.
I think that Diablo 3, particularly Reaper, even at the $60 price point, if I'm looking at value proposition for how much joy I'm going to get out of this game in handheld mode, totally worth $60. Diablo is one of the, first off, and I understand the hours.
I'm just being cheap because I've already bought it twice.
Well, I understand that. And the hours to cost like ratio is not always the most valid argument. But this is a game that if you like this kind of dungeon crawling, stabby, is you could sink hundreds of hours into, and doing it on the go, plus the fact you get absolutely everything with it right off the bat.
And Ganondorf.
So
with that said, I know I'm still just going to buy this anyway.
Are you? Okay. So you're a Diablo person.
No, I play it with my boyfriend, James Duggan of IGN. So we've played it before. So I'm interested to play it with the two Switches. We only have one, so he's going to have to get another. But I like that, the local multiplayer sounds great. And that would be a lot of fun. And the important thing is, like, this is the first time in 15 years that we've seen a Blizzard title on Nintendo.
Yeah, isn't
right?
that weird?
This is major.
This is huge.
Yeah. So
does this mean more?
Yes, it does. Segue.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're not quite ready to segue yet because you set up a great segue and then I ruined it. Because we also have this message from Ashley Storer Smith. Hello, Jared and friends. With the official announcement of Diablo 3 on Switch and Crash Bandicoot Switch still dominating the UK games chart, is Activision Blizzard testing the waters for newer games to come? Well, I guess that was a better segue. Well, and if they're going to release a newer game, what do you think is next? And what is your Gatorade Get Hyped Activision Blizzard Switch release? Also, Jared, I'd love a mobile games or WiiWare game segment. That's for Gamescast, where we play mobile gamer bullshit. So, what are your thoughts on that?
What do I think is next is actually the segue to the next story.
Then we're just going to jump right on in.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So what I think is next is Overwatch. I think this is the test.
Yeah.
And then I think Overwatch is next because that seems the most feasible, which is the segue to the next story, as we've been teasing. Overwatch on Switch is feasible, but Starcraft 2 isn't. This is also from GameSpot from my friend Timur Hussein. The confirmation that Diablo 3 is coming to Switch marks the first time in 15 years that a Blizzard title has been appeared on the Nintendo platform. Now that the relationship between the two studios has been rekindled, discussions will naturally move forward to other Blizzard games that could make the jump to the Switch. Overwatch, the popular team-based shooter, stands out as the potential contender, and Blizzard thinks that from a technology perspective, it is possible. That's very exciting for me. While talking about bringing Diablo 3 to the Switch, senior producer Pete Stillwell said that working on the game was a good opportunity for Blizzard to explore the Switch technology and get a better understanding of it. This was made easier by the fact that Diablo 3 has already been ported to consoles. With this in mind, GameSpot asked Stillwell how he felt about bringing Overwatch to the platform. Anything is within the realm of possibility, he said. Our team was given the task to work on this. If Team 4 picks up that endeavor, that's on them. As of right now, Diablo is our only focus on Switch. Asked if he thinks Overwatch could run on Switch, Stillwell said, yes, it is feasible. But Starcraft 2, another big Blizzard title, is less likely to make the jump to Nintendo's new platform, as the gameplay itself would require some reworking. Explaining the reasoning, Stillwell recalled the Nintendo 64 version of the first Starcraft, which had to be changed significantly to fit the platform. All right, so yeah, there's a lot there.
Okay, the thing I'm most excited about from this message, beyond the news of the day for a moment, is just that we had a chance to mention the N64 port of StarCraft. One of the weirdest things that ever happened. There was this weird...
Did you play it on N64?
So there was this weird tide of N64, like really late releases that did things the N64 simply should not have been capable of with its limited storage capacity in the cartridges. You had StarCraft, you had Mega Man Legends, and you had Resident Evil 2, a CD-based, like crammed into a cartridge by some sort of sorcery at Capcom. I don't know how they did it. And yes, you had to make significant changes. And actually some kind of neat stuff. They were really thoughtful about how they approached it. But people are not here for StarCraft. Not today. They're here for Overwatch.
That's right.
Overwatch on Switch. That's when I was like, well, duh.
Yeah,
right?
It's a big duh. It can run lower res. It's obvious. And our buddy Tom Marks actually tweeted and said that game is so undemanding performance wise that something like 20% of PC players don't even have GPUs. So it's like easy. Let's do it. Let's
make it happen. You look at the success of Fortnite on Switch, and you think about how similarly like something that uses stylistic rather than raw graphical power to convey its beauty is going to be perfectly suited for this platform. It's the kind of team game that's just meant to exist on Switch. I love it.
Agree, and I predict that it'll be out in like a year to a year and a half.
Okay.
I think we're going to see it. I think this is the next thing.
Oh wow! Do you have the inside scoops?
No, I have no inside scoop. I'm just pressuring them right now. I'm just putting the pressure on.
Chastity, we are about halfway through the Roper Report here, but as my fellow partner, wow.
It's warm.
Yeah, I was going to ask, are you sufficiently sweaty yet?
Yeah, okay.
Have you reached that sweat threshold?
No, I'm good.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. Excellent.
I can power through for another couple stories.
The hoodie endures. This one, just a real quick read.
Trying to stay on brand.
Once again, I'm here, and that means we need something for Big Twimp in it. This one from Alex Gibson. Little Nightmares hits 1 million sales in less than 18 months. Bandai Namco Entertainment today announced that Little Nightmares, the critically acclaimed platformer from Swedish indie studio Tarsier, I hope I'm saying that correctly, has exceeded 1 million sales less than 18 months after launch. The studio is understandably delighted, and its CEO, Andreas Jönsson, had this to say. We're very proud that our first original game sold so well. It's well beyond what we ever expected. Little Nightmares is, after all, an indie game landscape. And the fact that 1 million players have played our game is wonderful. This achievement is a milestone for both Tarsier Studios and Little Nightmares to have created an original game that becomes as successful is proof that the new direction for the studio was the right choice. And that feels great.
I have not played this.
So
have you?
I mostly drop this in, Chastity, because I like to celebrate success when it happens. We talk a lot, obviously AAA games have huge marketing budgets behind them and the efforts of hundreds or even thousands of people go to putting them together. But every now and then somebody just has a dream and scraps and scrapes and makes their way and it blows up. And in this case, Little Nightmares is one of those games. I just wanted to highlight.
That is a feel-good story.
It is. A million sales for a tiny little title like that. When you think about what it costs to make versus what they're able to bring in and how that changes lives. That's all.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, that's why I dropped it in here. So check that out. I believe Little Nightmares come to Switch, right? Or it did come to Switch, I think. Now, somebody,
check that.
Somebody, kindafunny.com/you're wrong, but I believe that was coming to ye old Switch or already has. Moving on here, next item of the report, number 6. Chastity, why don't you read this one? I think this is suited to you.
Thank you. Well, I am pretty obsessed with Pokemon Go. So Pokemon Go Celebi Special Research Worldwide Release announced. This is from our buddy, Mr. Pokemon Go himself, Andrew Goldfarb at IGN. Niantic has announced that Celebi will be available in Pokemon Go for players worldwide beginning on August 20th. As announced on Pokemon Go's official site, Celebi will become available in special research and can be accessed after a player has completed Step 3 during the Mew Special Research Quest. Players will be able to complete tasks from the Mew or Celebi line of special research simultaneously without having to abandon one or the other. That's good. Celebi was previously released to players who attended Pokemon Go Fest in Chicago. That's where Andrew got his. So I'm very excited to get one. Those players will not be able to earn a second Celebi from this new set of research, but will instead receive a new bounty of candy to power up your Celebi. Niantic will also add new field research related to Generation 2 Pokemon, as well as new avatar items, including a Celebi shirt and outfits from Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Cool.
Chastity.
Yeah.
We both know that nice little boy, Andrew Goldfarb, very well.
Yes, he's the best.
He's a delightful, small little man. He's likable in every possible way.
He's the Pokemon Go expert. He's the person I turn to. When I jumped back in, I just jumped back in about a month and a half ago, almost 2 months now. It was before Comic-Con, and I just jumped back in. And I'm addicted again.
Yeah?
Yes, I'm all in. I'm playing it every single day. A couple of my coworkers have a Slack channel, and we go on raids after work.
Oh, rad.
Or during lunch. Yeah, it's just like we just have a lot of fun playing it again. And
what's the appeal?
Well, now I like the fact that you can have a friends list and you can send each other gifts. So like you're sending each other things, and also like being able to go on those raids is fun. And the trading, and also there's a discount on trading right now. So if you build up your friendship levels with your friends, then it becomes cheaper. And now it's even cheaper because through the 19th, there's a discount, I believe 25% on the ability to trade. And
okay.
I'm just back in. I love Pokemon. I just was afraid of sticking with it. I jumped in really hard when it first launched. I was playing it for about 2 months, and then I just stopped when it started to like taper off and people were less interested. And I also was working at the time at a job that wasn't games focused, so I just kind of fell out of it. And then now I'm just back in. I decided to jump back in because Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, and then there's a bridge between like Pokemon Go and those games. So I was like, oh, I should prepare. And I saw Andrew preparing. He's like, oh, well, I'm ready, and I've got 2 of each for everything. I was like, wow, I want that. Like, so I'm now collecting 2 of each, and I'm getting there. I'm level 28. Add me as a friend.
If you live or work in a major city, it's an amazing video game.
Yes. But if you're in the middle of nowhere, it's really hard to play.
Yeah, I dare say almost impossible.
Almost impossible.
It really does make a huge difference, and that's a strange thing. It's an odd dynamic of that AR world they created. 2 questions about it. First, talking about Goldie, on a scale of 1 to 10. Andrew Goldfarb right now in Europe.
Yes.
How happy do you think he is on a 1 to 10 scale?
He's getting a bunch of Mr. Mimes. I'm sure he's very happy. He's probably got a bunch of Volbeats as well. Yeah.
So what do you think? Like 8.5?
No, I think he's pretty happy. Yeah.
Like a 9?
Like a 9.
Like a 9?
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder.
Yeah. So he's collecting all of these Mr. Mimes, and I'm hoping that he'll trade me one.
Second.
Please.
Second, my alma mater, ye old Imagine Games Network, IGN, when they redid their top 100 video games of all time list, they put Pokemon Go as the number 100 video game of all time. I
heard that there was a debate over that.
There was it. What are your thoughts on that? As a fan of the game?
Yeah. I say as a fan of the game, of course I support it, but just like thinking about it in perspective of all of the games that have ever existed, I feel like this game is more significant for the cultural impact and for what it meant bringing all these people together when it first launched. That's something that is extremely notable and kind of deserves a spot in history, because you were playing with complete strangers. You were talking to complete strangers in ways that you never would have normally, but you saw that they were trying to like battle a gym, and you're like, oh, guess what? There's a Pokemon here. It's like, oh, really? Where do you see it? And just like talking to people, and it just, that camaraderie, people like walking into streets and parks and stopping on bridges. It was nonsense. It was great. And it was such a magical time, and that I will never forget. So for that reason, I think it deserves its spot. And also, I am extremely biased because I love Pokemon Go.
Well, you're extremely biased because you love Pokemon Go. I am not a Pokemon guy, but I was extremely biased by living in San Francisco, where it became a cultural phenomenon.
Exactly.
It just did. Like, living here and seeing what Pokemon Go did when it first launched. But frankly, even now, I can't walk down the street for a day here and not see someone playing Pokemon Go.
And you can just tell. You can see someone like just standing to the side or like just standing somewhere randomly, and you know they're playing Pokemon Go. And then you kind of like glance at their screen. But
of course, the counter argument, are people in other places having that experience? Does that mean if people in one place are enjoying something, is it truly great for everyone? And that's I think it actually belongs right around where they put it, right there on that fringe of the list. Even though I'm not a Pokemon guy, it's a fascinating game.
Well, yeah, that placement tells me it's just like we are making note of the fact that this was notable for pop culture. Yeah. But yeah, it's not the greatest game, and we all know it breaks all the time.
Next item. Oh, sorry, I popped in. Next item on the Roper Report. Greg Miller is out of town, and that means I'm free to do all the Twinfinite I want. That's right.
Boy.
Indeed. Yeah. Housemarque releases a short teaser for the new game StormDivers. This by Jing Wan of Big Twinfinite. That's right. Yeah, there again. Gotta have that Twinfinite. Shout out to Yami. How you doing? Developing studio Housemarque will be attending Gamescom 2018 this year, and they're showing off their brand new game, StormDivers. Actual gameplay will be revealed during Gamescom itself. At the moment, we have no idea what StormDivers is going to be. Previously, Housemarque has been responsible for developing some of the best twin-stick shooters we've played in some time, including the likes of Resogun and Nemachina. So, Resogun...
Tell me more.
All right. So you remember that PS4 launch when there were no games to play on this amazing piece of hardware? There was one game to play, and that game was Resogun. Did you ever play it?
I remember that name. I don't know if I and if I did, I'm so sorry if I forgot.
Don't be sorry at all. It was a superb arcade style shooter that took advantage of the PlayStation 4's graphical capabilities. It was fundamentally kind of a classical Defender style game, but just superbly executed the way Geo Wars was in a way, just toward high score. Housemarque has that down, but what they're showing off here doesn't look like the usual Housemarque stuff. And so obviously very short teaser there, but this is a studio that produces quality game after quality game. And I think it's noteworthy that we're going to be seeing something at Gamescom, hopefully, or at least they'll be attending Gamescom and they'll be showing it off there. So that's just and again, another one of those little kind of, keep an eye on that because these people make good stuff.
All right.
So StormDivers.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out.
Now for some, gigantinormous news.
Gigantinormous.
Indeed, gigantinormous. That's my favorite Pokemon. Pokemon number 741, Gigantinormous, who morphs into Colossamassive.
Of course.
And then finally evolves into Greg Geddes. So there we are.
Halo Infinite is definitely Halo 6, not a spin-off or prequel. This is from Shabana Arif at IGN. 343 Industries has assured fans that Halo Infinite can be considered Halo 6, rather than a prequel or spin-off that the non-numbered title may suggest. 343's Jeff Easterling confirmed that the upcoming Halo Infinite is indeed the next main installment in the series, despite not being a numbered entry. It is Halo 6. You should just consider it Halo 6, Easterling said during a Mixer stream via GameSpot. Don't think of it as a weird prequel kind of thing. It's the next story. It's the next chapter in what is going on. Halo Infinite was revealed at Microsoft's E3 2018 briefing back in June, and the focus will be firmly on Master Chief. In a post on Halo Waypoint, 343 told the community that they heard loud and clear that players wanted more time with Chief as a playable character.
All right, so the big deal for several reasons here, but one of the first things that comes to my mind is once you say something like this publicly, I don't think you can ever make a game called Halo 6.
Right.
Or 7.
Right.
Or
well, what if they do though?
They're just like, this is Halo 6. Well, if you announce...
They could change their mind and then they go from Halo Infinite to Halo 7.
They could. They could go, okay, you can go for Infinite to 7, but then you've got this weird... There was never a 6 gap unless you
Halo
retcon
Infinite
it into Halo 6 : but I don't know if this is an effort to... do we end up with like a Halo Infinite 2?
So I just said Halo Infinite 2.
Right. Yeah, that's so. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad strategy. You get how ridiculous is it that we live in a
Infinite,
world?
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, boo.
I love the Fast and the Furious. Also, I'm really warm. Can I?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the hoodie is gone.
All right.
Taco Bell hoodie's gone.
This was runner-up.
So you went with the runner-up.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what were the other two?
GameSpot shirt and Kind of Funny shirt.
Okay, so there we go. So you weren't sure. The sirens you hear are on our end.
The police are here.
Yeah, not yours. That's if you're listening to this, the sirens are actually on our side of things. So yeah, it is kind of ridiculous that we played Final Fantasy 15 a couple of years ago.
Indeed.
Right now, I'm reviewing for IGN Dragon Quest 11. I mean, these numbers do at some point get pretty high, and maybe it's a good idea. What are your thoughts on this?
Numbers are fine. They help me keep track of things, but I also just said I love the Fast and the Furious, and that's just all over the place. So go nuts.
Okay.
Have fun. I think Halo Infinite's cool. It makes me think of a different thing. I feel like if it was just Halo 6, I'd be like, okay, whatever, and just forget it. But Halo Infinite kind of gives me pause and I take notice a little bit more because it's named differently. So it's like, oh, interesting. What is it? How is it different? Yeah,
when they chose this, I was expecting something like Reach or ODST or and now it's like, nope. Okay, this is the next mainline Halo game. That's fascinating. So There we go. And then finally, this last news story of the day, number 9 on the report. Chastity, you're going to read and handle this one.
I am going to handle this one because I know that you cannot. But so I will do it.
As a former employee of EA, I like to leave these to my co-hosts.
Yes,
so.
but there was a big trailer this morning, so I'm going to go for it. Oh,
hold on.
What do we got here?
Okay,
Hello.
The champ himself.
The champ's here.
The champ is here.
Hey, champ.
Just want to clarify, we are now going to Starbucks. We will be bringing back the Starbucks order we promised 30 minutes ago.
Thank you very much.
I'm very happy about that. Thank you.
Okay, apologies.
No apologies
no
necessary.
No need to apologize, Nick Scarpino.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Nick Scarpino, everyone. Congratulations. There we are.
The champ. Can I...
is that for you?
This is it's for Andy.
Andy's.
This is beautiful. Look at this
But
gorgeous...
if you want that, you can back us on either of the fan mail tiers on either Patreons.
That's pretty spectacular.
You'll get that this week. It'll be a signed copy just for you.
Take that away and rip that in half.
It says, to Andy, you suck, Nick, the champ.
Yeah.
There we go.
It'll be in gold or silver, though, because we just couldn't find a marker when I signed that. That's how we do it here.
It's gorgeous. I'm going to keep it here.
Nick, go get coffee. You need it, man.
Look upon it.
You're walking around with sunglasses inside at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be.
Yeah.
He said, is that why it's so dark?
Everyone pray for that man. All right, please continue.
Final news of the day. Battlefield 5 Gamescom trailer teases Battle Royale, depicts bloody Battle of Rotterdam. This is from Patrick Fowler of GameSpot. Gamescom 2018 in Europe may still be a few days away, but EA DICE is giving Battlefield fans something to cheer about early. After previously teasing the video, it is now unveiled the full Gamescom trailer of Battlefield 5 coming in October on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It's suitably epic and may include a tease of the game's anticipated Battle Royale mode. The trailer, called Devastation of Rotterdam, shows just that. In a mix of cutscenes and gameplay footage, we see soldiers battling each other and dodging a lot of gunfire and explosions on the Dutch city's crumbling streets, while a haunting rendition of House of the Rising Sun plays in the background. The trailer also shows off tank warfare, both what it's like to control one in the game and what it's like to narrowly escape being blown up by one, and we get a glimpse of air combat. Battlefield 5's developers have promised the game will feature emotional story missions, and no doubt surviving the brutal Battle of Rotterdam, which involved an intense blitz by German planes, will be one of them. However, the map looks like it would certainly lend itself to the game's multiplayer. The trailer takes an interesting turn towards the end, as well as after the initial part of the video ends, it cuts to shots of a ring of fire quickly closing in on soldiers and tanks. And just a short tease, but it could be our first glimpse at the game's Battle Royale mode, which EA announced during E3 2018. So yeah, this trailer looked stunning, and so I'll just talk on this a bit, and I'll just talk to you, dear viewers and listeners. Showed off a bunch of cinematics, we got some melee, we saw some combat. It looks amazing, and I'm super intrigued by the Battle Royale mode. Like, this is exciting stuff. I know we were talking previously before in a previous episode, you don't have to reply, about is there too much Battle Royale, but I don't think that there is, and I think that this makes the game more appealing to me. And from the comments I was reading to these news stories on different outlets today about this trailer, people seem genuinely interested. So I'm pretty interested to see what's going to come of it, and also just the entire ring of fire that brings a whole terrifying aspect to it. And it's like it's closing in on you. You can't camp. You're gonna get extra crispy, so don't camp because you're gonna die. So it's terrifying, and also a missed opportunity to use Johnny Cash, but they can still use Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire for the next actual trailer for Battle Royale. And that's all I'll say about that. Welcome back, Jared.
Thanks for having me, Chastity. Sidebar before we move on. What do you fall on the Beat Takeshi classic, the ultraviolet pop hit from Japan, Battle Royale?
The movie?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah?
It's fantastic.
Oh, my
I don't know
gosh.
about the sequels because I haven't seen them, but the original is fan-freaking-tastic.
I also big fan of this.
And I would love an actual Battle Royale game based on Battle Royale.
Would play.
Yes, would play.
Would play.
I want to be a schoolgirl with a frying pan. I want to run around and just wreck shit. It's great.
Chastity,
Please.
that's a game that doesn't yet exist.
Yeah.
A game that should exist, but
Yes.
does not yet exist.
Yes.
But if I wanted to find out what games exist right now, that I could purchase right now, that I could play right now, today, where would I go?
You would go to the official list of upcoming software across each and every platform, as listed by the Kinda Funny Games Daily Show host each and every weekday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we someone asked if we would dance, so can we do that one more time?
Oh yeah, I figured we'd do it. We were going to go out on the
Dance,
dance.
just dance.
We're just going to dance.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
jazz hands.
I love Friendship Dance with you.
Me too. I miss it.
It does. Working in the same office with you and Friendship Dancing was a high point of my adulthood, I dare say.
Mine too.
Yeah.
If you missed the last episode, we referenced how when we would go to each other's desks and do a friendship dance to cheer people up and cheer each other up when we were having a tough day. Yeah,
it's a big crowd. Again, Partners in Crime with you is one of my favorite places to be. Out today, Thursday, August 16th. Castle Storm for Switch, Hero Defense for PS4, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes for Switch, Nitro Ball for Switch, Manuel Samuel for Switch, Next Up Hero for Switch, Red's Kingdom for Switch, and Roboto for Switch.
There you have it.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, Reader Mail. Brought to you today by Brooklinen.com. Brooklinen sheets are named the winner of the best in online bedding category by Good Housekeeping. It's the fastest growing bedding brand in the world. Over 20,000 5-star reviews.
Tell me more.
Indeed, luxury sheets without the luxury markup. Most bedding's marked up as much as 300%, but their method is to take out the middlemen. They keep things personal, just between them and the customer. Chastity, how much time do you spend to sleep?
Not enough time. Probably about 6.5 hours a night.
You know how you'd sleep more? With Brooklinen sheets. Because they're soft, they're comfortable. They're the best, most affordable sheets that money could buy. And you get exclusive offer just for listeners right now. $20 off and free shipping when you use the promo code GAMES. That's GAMES. GAMES. At Brooklinen.com. That's GAMES, GAMES, at Brooklinen.com. They're so sure you'll love the new sheets. They offer a risk-free 60-night satisfaction guarantee and a lifetime warranty on all their sheets and comforters. The only way to get $20 off and free shipping is use the promo code GAMES at Brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com. Promo code GAMES, Brooklinen. These really are the best sheets ever. But also today's Reader Mail brought to you by Stamps.com. These days you can get practically everything on demand. Like our podcast, you can listen whenever you want, when it's convenient for you. But you know you can get postage on demand?
I did not.
Well, now you do. And I need postage on demand in my life because I still send snail mail letters. I love to do it. I will send you a letter, and I will get the stamps to send you that letter from Stamps.com. After the show, I'm going to walk over and buy some stamps because I desperately need stamps right now in my life. And Stamps.com can take care of that because you can have access to all the services of the post office right from your desk. You can buy and print real U.S. postage from any letter, any package, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just click, print, and mail, and you're done. Stamps.com will even send you a digital scale. Right now, you can use the code KFGAMES. KFGAMES for a special offer, a 4-week trial that includes postage and a digital scale. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. Click on the radio microphone at the top of the homepage and type in KFGAMES. That's KFGAMES at Stamps.com and enter KFGAMES. And I really need some stamps. So I'm excited about that.
Well, now you can get some.
Yes.
I'm very excited
if the Kind of Funny printer will work to print me those stamps, which is always in question. So, ladies and gentlemen, Reader Mail today. This very first one from BrianTheWitcher. Hey, Kind of Funny Games Daily Crew. I've been waiting to get a Switch until my daughter completed a bunch of summer math homework to earn it. Yes, I know that sounds awful, but the time has come. She's ready to be rewarded. I'll be surprising her this weekend by taking her to purchase not one, but 2 Switches.
Dang.
So I got to get one for myself too, obviously.
Oh, of course.
So my question to you is it smart to purchase more than one game alongside a new console, or do you think that would be too overwhelming? I am for sure getting Octopath, but I've also considered buying some combination of Zelda, Mario Tennis, and or Golf Story. I'm afraid having more than one game will just distract me. With all the codes you guys have shoveled into your inbox on a regular basis, what are some strategies you use to stay focused on one game at a time? Thanks for all you do, and you leave that poor chicken alone. Chastity, what do you think?
Yeah, I got multiple games when I got a Switch, and I think it's great. I'm in different moods after work every day, and I'm just like, sometimes I wanted to play Zelda, sometimes I wanted to play Mario. So why not? I got it late, obviously. I got it for my birthday last year. It was a birthday gift, and then added some games onto it after the fact. And it was nice to be able to bounce between games. But when I was all in on Mario Odyssey, when I first got Mario Odyssey, I just kind of stuck with that. But it was nice to have the option to play Mario Kart if I wanted to, or like was with friends and they wanted to play that. So it's nice. And like when you're playing multiplayer and you want to focus on one game by yourself, then that's different. You're in different moods. There are different occasions. And like if you're playing together with someone, which it sounds like you will be, I think you should have the option to have those key multiplayer games, and then one game, just take the one game that you want to focus on the story by yourself.
For me, it's about change of pace.
Yeah.
I usually try to juggle two games, and where I go is one deeply involving story-driven game, and then a change of pace, very often an arcade or a mobile game.
Yes.
That I'll be bouncing away. So when I'm away from my console, I'll sit there and play a casual mobile game. Now with Switch, sometimes there's crossover, but even then, I have a lot of arcade style or shooter style games on my Switch that I'll switch to, or maybe a puzzle game, something like that. And so I'll be doing one kind of deep story game. Also, switching between single player and multiplayer can be fun.
Yes.
So if you're buying games to play with your daughter, maybe you buy a big single player experience like Octopath or Zelda, but then maybe you also grab
Mario
something
Kart 8.
Cooperative.
Get Overcooked 2.
Exactly. Overcooked 2, Mario Kart 8, Snipper Clips, these kinds of things where you can share time together. I think 2's enough.
Yeah.
I think 1's enough.
2's good.
But 2 is kind of my optimal.
I would say start with 2.
Yeah. All right. So Wonder Twin powers activate. There we are. Number 2. Chelsea, you want to read this one from M16 and Pregnant?
Yeah, games we're good at. Doki Doki Jared, an esteemed Merry Misfit. Question for the host, and that could really extend to KF as a whole. Where is your skill focused at in games? In other words, what genre of game could you play if you had to a bet riding on your skill in it? We know that Tim is pretty good at platformers, and I myself am pretty prominent at first-person shooters, but what about the rest of the Kinda Funny crew and guests as well? What game genre would you say you're most proficient in and would feel confident betting on your skill in it? Racing, fighting, first-person shooters, third-person shooters, platformers, puzzles, just curious is all. Thanks, and let's not accost that chicken. Let's deep fry that sucker with some herbs and spices and get to eating.
Oh, well, let me say herbs with an H. That's awesome.
I just read it accidentally that way. I say both, actually.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say herbs, sometimes I say herbs.
Herbs and herbs? Yeah. I say root and root.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation.
Yeah.
And kind of color or color.
I still say orange sometimes, even though it's orange.
That's fun. It's fun to do it. No,
I don't even know what I say, right?
So,
this can is orange.
All right. So we know Tim's pretty good at platformers. He's pretty prominent first. What genre are you most proficient in, Chastity?
Fighting and rhythm. Fighting and rhythm, yeah.
Which are kind of related.
They're kind of related. They're tied together. I was initially super into fighting games growing up, and also like well into college, and then I got super into rhythm games from after high school and onward. So yeah, they're kind of similar skill sets.
Okay.
But yeah, those would be the two I would say.
Yeah, are you? What are you playing fighting game wise right now?
I went back into Street Fighter V because of Evo. It was just fun to watch, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna jump back in. So me and my buddy Benjenka, who you are familiar with, started playing a little bit again, and Dragon Ball Fighters.
Oh, fun! Well, you a Blaze Blue person at all?
No, I'm not. But a lot of people in the GameSpot office play, and I love watching them. I'd love to jump in to that cross tag.
It's
like
quite
fun.
a game. Yeah, cross tag's neat, and so are mainline Blaze Blue games, which are really really cool. As for me, I'm terrible at video games. I love them. I'm not good at them, and thoroughly enjoy playing them ineptly. And because I'm not good at response time, reaction, etc., I've somehow kind of focused in anything that I can be ultra granular and break. So tactics games, strategy games, 4X games, tactical RPGs, anything where I am deconstructing systems to build optimal characters, anything where I can grind and exploit, anything where, the kind of loop that Final Fantasy V inspired, where you're getting in and just like, how do I wreck the job system in this to become a man god? That's the stuff. I have a knack for it, and a knack for finding and identifying underlying systems in games.
Interesting.
I don't know where that came from. I think because I would sometimes play the same strategy games as a kid for hundreds and hundreds of hours, and I got a feel eventually for how the developers were building them. That's also
and you worked on wikis for a long time, so you just played games in a different style than everyone else was playing them, and you had to for work.
Exactly, and that makes, and when you're used to looking for the ragged edges, you start thinking about the game as designed. That also makes me good at adventure games, like point and click games where you have to solve puzzles, like that kind of puzzle, not puzzle game falling blocks, but it's like, how do I get this door open with these obtuse clues? I'm very good at those.
Nice.
And that comes to the same thing, and finding collectibles. Like, I'm just like, if I design this level, where would I put something? And
Nice.
I've gotten kind of good at that.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's a weird specialty, but sure. Hey, look here, fighters. What? This from DHCanada or DHCanada? I don't know how to pronounce it. DHCanada, says Cool Greg.
What's up?
Hey, Chastity and Jared, how are you both? I have 3 questions today, 4 if you include asking me how you are. The
I'm
first
doing
is
well.
for Chastity. Which character do you hope appears in the anime fighter Jump Force?
Ooh, all right. Well, I played the demo at E3, and I was kind of nonplussed, but there was only a few characters at the time, and I was mostly sad to hear that the characters, what was it? It was Light and Ryuk were not playable. They were just in the trailer, and I was very sad about that because I like Death Note a lot. But who do I want? I want Saitama, One Punch Man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
And before you correct me, he was digitally there. I just checked and I wrote it down. Young Jump webcomics. He is part of Shonen Jump in the Young Jump webcomics. But yes, Saitama, One Punch Man, please.
Jared, who do you hope appears in Soul Calibur 6? It's not going to happen. I don't even particularly like. In fact, I kind of actively dislike the character. But I would love to see Squall from Final Fantasy VIII with that giant gunblade running around in Soul Calibur. It's a weapon fighter. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's silly. And that Final Fantasy VIII is a giant broken mess. And Squall is an unlikable, whiny, horrible human being.
So why not?
But
Yeah.
that sword is awesome. It's a sword with a gun in it. Why? Who cares?
It's all about weapons. So
Yeah.
just bring them in.
So
Sounds good.
I'd love to have Squall running around in Soul Calibur 6. Not going to happen. And finally, Tekken 7's getting Negan from The Walking Dead.
That was so
because
weird.
there's no justice in the world. So I'm hoping some crazy stuff in Soul Calibur as well. Last but not least, another fun one. It's been done in Mortal Kombat. It's not going to, but Jason Voorhees with the machete would be fun. Last but not least, for the homie Cool Greg, if a new Def Jam fighting game happens, what rappers have to be in it?
Ooh.
New Def Jam game.
My man Xavier Woods about this just like 2 or 3 days ago. I want a SoundCloud new Def Jam one where they're fighting for Florida. Because I feel like all the new rappers come from Florida and it'd be crazy, and I really don't want to fight with like Post Malone or anyone that's too famous.
No kidding.
They don't
Alright.
look like Ludacris and like them big beasts anymore. Now they're like little kids, bunch of tattoos.
Rad. Thanks, Cool Greg.
Sounds
yeah.
good.
The world's crazy out there, so remember what Bill and Ted said. Be excellent to each other.
Good advice.
Time to squad up. This one from Baxter, known as Death Mayor, M-A-Y-E-R. That's Death _ M-E-Y-E-R, D-E-A-T-H _ M-A-Y-E-R on PlayStation 4. Who says, I need some friends to play ESO, Elder Scrolls Online with. I just recently hopped back in. I've started over with a new character. It gets a little boring doing quests and leveling alone. Would love to meet some new kind of funny games, daily best friends, and share some ESO experiences together. I also play Fortnite, both modes, Overwatch, and many other games. Once again, Baxter, that's Death _ M-A-Y-E-R. Then very quickly here, one of those rotating segments. Required reading. We haven't had required reading in a while. It's time for another one. This one from Derek. Hello, Jared, and whoever you dragged into the studio with you.
Me.
You. Long time, first time, and all that. 2 things. 1, Aiden on yesterday's show was delightful. Tell Greg to bring her back as often as possible. She's one of the best guests you've ever had.
She did fantastic. I love her. We just had barbecue at RTX, and I'm so excited that she was on the show yesterday, and she did a great job.
I've never had
So
barbecue
proud.
with Aiden. Oh, man.
Well,
I'm jealous.
you should have gone to RTX.
I should have. Got to invite me to RTX if I'm going to come.
Come next time.
All right. Did you see the post on PlayStation Blog today about girls make games? Bigwigs from Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo are all getting together for a good cause. It's not a big news story or anything. I have no affiliation with the cause. I just heard about it on the blog today. But thought it'd be good to highlight how company lines mean nothing when it comes to the importance of diversifying the games industry. It was heartwarming to see a picture of Sean Layton, Phil Spencer, and others sitting with a bunch of young girls who want to become game designers. It's a picture I'd like to post in a comment thread whenever some trolley fanboy starts making statements like PlayStation rules, Xbox and Nintendo suck, etc., etc. That from Derek in Newfoundland. Yeah, Girls Make Games takes middle and high school girls and helps teach them skills for making games. It's
I'm
really
here
cool.
for it. All about it.
Yeah, and this is a cross company, cross platform, cross industry effort. It's a really cool thing. And if you go to the PlayStation blog right now, you can read a lot more about it. So
Cool.
There's your required reading. And now it's time to find out what we got wrong. All right, let's see what we got here. No, I do not want to view new terms and conditions. All right. Let's see. not a year wrong, but well, then we're not going to read it. Let's see. Didn't hear this on New Relations, but Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate Demo available on Switch right now.
That's right.
That from Arkwing24. Halo Infinite is being named as such to differentiate between 343's initial plan and making a Halo 4. Okay, yep. All right, that's not really a you're wrong. Not you're wrong, then I'm not going to read it. Pokemon number 741 is actually Oricorio, a nectar-sipping dancing bird who comes in the pom-pom and flamenco forms, among others. That from Nav. Thank you for that. Yeah, there's a lot on Pokemon 741. Let's see. A lot of other, a few other things here. Yep, I think that's our You're Wrong for today.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for catching what we got wrong. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting us on Patreon. Thanks for everything you do. All the kind letters, all the kind words. Chastity
Hello.
V, thank you for bringing light and joy.
Thank you for being wonderful. I love working with you. I love doing this show with you. I love coming back to the studio and seeing my friends. And thank you guys for being so supportive on Twitter and in the comments. You guys are great. It's so nice to be around positivity. I love this positive community.
Go over to GameSpot, follow Chastity's work, and increasingly the work you do enabling other people to make really great things.
You did a great job at E3, by the way. I just want to say he was on the stage and he was hosting an entire segment by himself before Kind of Funny. He was the opener on Thursday of E3, and he did a fantastic job co-hosting with me. I had way too many things to keep track of, and you did a fantastic job just taking the lead during that segment.
That was very kind of you.
You can
Thank
check
you
it
for the
out.
Opportunity. I had fun.
You can still check it out on GameSpot's YouTube, day 3 of E3. And
feel free to give me more work anytime.
Will do.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, normally we shake hands, but today, going out with a friendship dance. And as the gentleman said earlier in the letter, be excellent to one another.
Mm-hmm.